I have architect Dulal Mukherjee. I have Mr. Obhijit Dashgupta, who are our marquee judges, who have agreed to sit in the panel and speak a few things about the panel discussion topic I will come to, but apart from that, I'll tell the other people. Mr. Devashish Sen, he's here with us. He's the other aspect of administration and that sort of support and patronage is required by us. His point of view will be very important. We have another bright individual and an organization who works in Delhi. They are Design Forum International. So three of them, partners, they are here. I would ask Architect Anoj Tewatia, who's with us, to please come and join as a panelist. I would also, we need one person who is also a part of our basic jury. There is Architect Partho Ranjan Das. Now, if you please come and join us, speak a few words. And if time permits, I don't think there's a lot of time, I will also open it to the session, open the session to the crowd. Can we have just one other chair so I can call Professor Sanghamitra Basu too? Can we organize another chair, please, here? Thank you, ma'am. Please come and join the panel discussion. Please. Please. And finally, my co-mentor and my teacher, Professor Biplab Sengupta, who's with us. So, without much ado, we'll dwell on that one important word, which sounds good. It's called innovation. And we have tinkered around a lot with the word. What sort of innovations are possible, are required in the construction industry, in the design paradigm, and what are the current trends that we have in innovation? Is it important at all? Is it more verve than actual work? We will hear all of our panelists talk a few words about it. So I would like to start with, who would like to start? I'd like to start with Mr. Devashish Sen, who's our chief guest. So you can sit there, and we'll have a couple of microphones. Okay, so the topic, I just repeat the topic, it is about innovation. It is about innovation, so if I have to put it into a phrase, it would be innovation in design and construction. Current trends and insights, let's say. I just made it up, but essentially working around that word innovation, the requirement, the need for it. So I will say that again. The topic will be innovation in design and construction, current trends and insights. Mr. Devashish Sen, sir.
Which is that, how do you innovate? Is there any way, shortcut to innovate? In my opinion, it is not possible to innovate by the rule book. To innovate, you have to think out of the box. You have to go out of the perimeter of the room, and you have to look towards the sky. And for that, therefore, there is a need for looking elsewhere beyond the conventional realms of doing anything that you're doing, not necessarily in architecture or engineering. I have at the same time a great faith in the youth of our country in whatever field they are working. And therefore, I have very recently been associated with an exercise where a hackathon, a design hackathon was conducted, and we got tremendously interesting innovations. But this is a short-term measure. It does not and cannot necessarily work. So what I would say in my preliminary remarks is that for innovating, we need to train young minds to think beyond. We need to nurture the spirit of looking beyond the textbooks and resisting the temptation for Googling and pasting everything. If we are able to inculcate these values in our schools and colleges, I think we would have left the most meritorious person to innovate well in whatever field. So with this, I would like to pass on the mic to the chairman of Dastur and Company to have his thoughts. Would you agree that for innovate, we need to make people think?
Absolutely, you were right. First of all, why should we innovate? If you look at today's world, what the client is looking for, what the customer is looking for. Customer is looking for twice the quality, half the time, and half the cost. These are the things basically customers are looking for. And customer is a global customer. Today, because of the globalization, if we do not innovate, then somebody else at some corner of the world will be innovate and we will have the competition with them. So if that be the so, then it requires an eightfold initiative. And this can only be done by the innovation. Innovation in the engineering is a great challenge actually. First of all, you have to do the collaborative engineering, we have to do the flexibility of engineering, and we should have the innovations and the value engineering. Because the cost is the primary thing keeping highest quality. And we, being an engineer, let me confess to you, we are ashamed that what has happened, we have all seen the Posta Bridge. It is a very ashamed and it is shameful to all the engineers, and it is a high time that we must look forward how to avoid all those things. When we are looking for the innovations and all, we are simply destroying the structures what we have designed. So in this forum, I believe we must take some sort of oath that we should have some sort of ethical way of thinking of the innovations. It must be, ethics should be maintained and integrity should be maintained. With this, I thank you all of you. Thank you.
Dulalda, just a few words. Anuj.
Good evening, everyone. When JD told me that we have a topic of discussion which is design innovation, I thought something is called as design innovation and something is called as design solution. You have one objective and you have an existing process to achieve to that objective is called as design solution. Sir rightly said that we have to think out of the box to create something which we can call as the design innovation. That means when we create a parallel thinking and reach to that objective through a different path, through a different process, to achieve better results is called design innovation. Now what are the parameters which we can define that this is something better process or better way to achieve? We have to address at least 4 parameters. Either you are addressing cost, as Sir rightly said, that we reduce the cost. So there could be design innovations to reduce the cost, or there could be a second parameter which is performance or the functionality. We address to that to create something which is performing in a better way through a parallel thinking or an innovative idea. Or a third parameter could be maybe a building which is looking really beautiful now. I mean, earlier we have been doing, as architects, we've been doing many innovations to create, better aesthetic lines, better materials which are performing better and having a better aesthetic appeal. And the fourth parameter could be the time, durability of what you are creating, durability of your objective, Now to achieve all this, the very first step is you have to define the objective. You have to define which aspect or which parameter you are going to address. If, we define that we are going to create affordable homes, which is a very burning issue right now. I mean, the issue is that there is so much of the surplus inventory of the houses, apartments. On the other side, we have so many people who don't own home. They are on the rented properties. Doing the conventional thinking, we are at the same stage. We are not really getting a breakthrough in creating a solution where drastically we can reduce the cost. So maybe, if we define an objective that we come out with some innovative designs where 600 square feet we can create a 3 BHK living, which looks very ambitious. But unless we create objectives which are challenging enough for us, unless we create visionary challenges, visionary dreams for us, then we will start addressing those through the parallel paths. One time, flying was a dream. Somebody who might have thought about flying must have been a really visionary. Once you define that objective or dream that, dare to dream what today is not achievable. So the objective itself, it's not just the process which can be a design innovation, even the objective itself can inspire you to create something which we can call as the design innovation. If I say that cricket, you have to get the boundary. Cover drive is a process, straight drive, but the reverse sweep is an innovation. That was that. Thank you. That was just, I thought that I should say it to define my thoughts.
Yeah, thank you, Anuj. It's very interesting, and what he talks about in the present housing scenario, there is definitely a demand-supply mismatch. Trying to match that or bridge that by some innovation of design is something we would definitely look forward to. Sir Parthoda?
Just to illustrate the point, I will start with a story. In the mid-60s, in Australia, there was an international competition which was launched for design of Sydney Opera House. It was announced by the Municipal Corporation of Sydney, and other than everything else, it had a very unique design brief that they were looking for a Taj Mahal for Australia. It means that any number of established foreign architects can design a good opera house which will work as an opera house. But they wanted to create a symbol, like Taj Mahal symbolizes India, Eiffel Tower symbolizes France. They wanted an iconic building which will symbolize, Sydney and Australia. And the chairman of the jury was again a very innovative and a brilliant architect called Eero Saarinen from the US. He was a practicing architect and a professor, and obviously, being an international competition, the Sydney Municipal Corporation received thousands of design submissions. Now they decided that it's very difficult for the jury members to go through all the designs to select the winner. So they decided among themselves that they will make it a two-tier competition. They will select a very few, good designs, say about 100 odd designs, which finally the jury members will go through. Jury members were also internationally well-known architects. Eero Saarinen happened to be the chairman of the jury. When Eero Saarinen arrived in Sydney and looked at the top 100 designs, he said these designs are by very well-known architects and they will work brilliantly as opera houses. But they will not address your main design theme, which is a Taj Mahal for Australia. So let me look at the designs which you had rejected. And he went through all the rejected designs and picked up a design which was submitted very casually, but a brilliant, innovative design submitted by a Danish architect called John Utzon, and that was selected as the winning entry. Now it's a different matter that it was so very difficult to construct, and the Sydney Municipal Corporation had to wait for 10 more years before a very well-known structural engineer from UK, Ove Arup, agreed to take up the design with certain changes, and he finally constructed the Sydney Opera House. But it shows that innovation has three aspects. One is that you need courage to think differently. But at the same time, you need people who will appreciate your courage to think differently. Otherwise, I think there are hundreds of architects, hundreds of people who think differently, but their works are not appreciated. You need, people like Eero Saarinen who will pick up your design from the rejected entries to get it constructed. And the other thing is that when you think differently, you should also think that it should not be only a drawing on a paper. In architecture, we need to construct everything. We are not drawing lines. It's not a painting. So therefore, your innovation has to have that practical aspect as well. But nevertheless, you need the courage to think differently. You also need people who will appreciate your differently thinking abilities. But you need not be appreciated. Corbusier, a famous architect, had said that you must have the courage. But the challenge in that courage is that you may not be appreciated in your entire life. But nevertheless, you should keep trying. Thank you.
So, Sanghamitra Di, it was a great story, and if I'm not wrong, I am told that John Woodson, the winner, was actually a student when he put that entry in. I'm not sure, maybe not. But yeah, he was young, and it was an inchoate design. So it was really brave of Eero Saarinen. Yeah, Sanghamitra.
I'll take up the story of the Sydney Opera House from Partho Ranjan Das. When you enter Sydney Opera House, there is a place where a model of oranges cut into wedges is there. It shows from where Woodson got his idea of the structure, because when you cut the wedges of orange, it can stand on its own. And that's from a very simple thing. He got the idea where the structure and the form combines and married, or they're done in a beautiful harmonious way. It's not sheep sailing or something which many people conceive. So this is what is innovation. When there is a problem, one looks for the solution, not somewhere in the sky, but look around. Maybe in very simple thing, the solutions are there. So problem sometimes gives, so that's looking out of the box. And how logical thinking of the problem, trying to find a solution from maybe a very simple thing, things spread around us, can be a way of finding an innovative solution to a problem. I remember one person asked me, why architects have to design houses all the time? There is a house design, why can't they put it and repeat it? But it's very difficult because each and every house, each and every housing has a different site and other. It may be some different, and so every problem, to look at the problem, is very different. For example, if you think about low-cost housing, we always think we cut the size of the room or we compromise on the material, and that can be the solution. And only innovative design can be done when it is very expensive. Charles Correa, which we have talked about, he showed us a way when doing a low-cost housing. He showed that how multiple use of spaces using a mezzanine floor in a house can create a beautiful environment for a small, economically moderate income family having 3 generations staying together. So, and he gave a beautiful, innovative solution. It's not the cost cutting or other things. So we always tell the students, look around, trying to find the problem and look out of the box, and that's where the innovative solution may come up, which will give a combination of structure, aesthetics, form, design, and function.
Biplab Da?
Well, I think that all of you know that the whole concept of construct is design and innovation awards. So we started the issue innovation, and as has been rightly said by Mr. Sen and others, if you go to the dictionary of dictionary meaning of innovation, and if you talk about the application of innovation, there is always a interrelationship in the sense that first of all, as you know, that our whole objective of construct was that the country is is developing technologically, is facing more urbanization, is facing less of land. So there are a couple of people or many people who are trying to innovate under the specific context of the situation where land is a scarce resource, and as added by Dr. Dasgupta is the cost. Cost is also equally important. So probably holistically, we are trying to talk about the issues that are unresolved or which are going to be tomorrow's prime issues. So essentially, by innovation, we are trying to outline the out-of-the-box solutions for all these things which are not the typical architectural solutions that I can. We talk about Charles Correa, we talk about Corbusier, we talk about very few people. We don't talk about all architects. Why you don't talk about them? Because they are highly innovative in their approach. So I guess that the whole objective of our this construct as well as the panel discussion is that to put some insight on the innovation. Thank you very much.
Hello, to me, it's a process of a very analytical mind. If you have to be innovative, you have to be analytical of your sites, of your surrounding, of the people, and only then you can create any innovative.
That is right. Any one of you would like to add to this? Or else I'll open it to the crowd here. If any one of you have any thoughts to share or to add to the discussion, if you think that there is something about innovation that you add on, we'll be happy if you... Yeah, okay, Anuj, yeah.
I think any industry, any country, any organization, if innovation is not happening, then that organization or country or system is not growing. The main seed or the main component of growth itself lies in innovation. If we are only treading the well-trodden path to attain those objectives, it's already being done. Where are we growing? So for the architects, for especially the students, you will have to come up because you are going to be the future architects and future builders of our nation. And for all the industries which are related with the real estate, and especially you are going to impact the human life, people who are living there. Architecture is not just an industry, but it is going to impact every individual's living style, living pattern, even the social relationships also. For that, be very objective, be very creative, and do not just create mechanical drawings and constructions. Rather think, go first to the zero, that what was the objective of that. Let's say, I give you a very basic example. We have to create an apartment or a house design. We know 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, a kitchen, hall, and we call it 3 BHK, 2 BHK, like that. Bedroom, 10 feet by 12 feet. A bigger bedroom, 11 feet by 14 feet. A lavish bedroom, 14 feet by 18 feet. Or somebody can have a 22 feet by 35 feet, whatever. It's all rectangle. Why a bedroom has to be just a rectangle? It's a well-trodden path to create a rectangle, to create a bedroom. Now you go back to zero. What are the functions of that bedroom? A person is going to spend certain time of his life in that room. What are the functions? Sleeping. You need a bed. A person will get up, might be watching TV there in the bedroom. So it's a sleeping is one function. The second function is watching TV, which is also a very important parameter function these days. Third function could be early morning coffee or bed tea sitting next to the window. Or maybe if you have a very good window, you can watch out. Nowadays, in fact, windows are treated like, just a curtain can tell you that this is the window. You have grill, you have lakdi, jali, and shisha, and so many flaps. Why not first put those functions, how the person is going to behave in that environment, and then create the boundaries around it? Maybe a bedroom cannot be just a rectangle. Maybe a corner is jetting out with a corner glass, and you have a floor sitting there from where you are having a panoramic view of the world. It's a innovative thinking can only happen once you erase those which are existing process. I think that way we can address to come to the innovative designs or design innovations.
Absolutely, very important that we look at the students because they are the fresh blood, they are young, they are most likely to be as courageous and fearless so that they can innovate. If we have any student here, I know there are some. I mean, I will give you one chance. Yes, please say something. Yes, okay, can we have just maybe one or two from, because we are running short of time, and Anoj and his partner Anand here, they have a 15-minute presentation of the works they have done, and they will talk of the innovation of the works they have done. So in architecture, we'll see the work more than the word, so we'll give the next 15 minutes to them. So sir, can we have a mic for them? I mean, I am a bookish person, so I did look up the dictionary and a couple of dictionaries as to what innovation is. Because dictionaries are helpful because they compress and consolidate matter very well. So they write innovation has to be novel, it has to be novel, it has to be original, and something which improves or makes the system more efficient. So I think that is very clear. Yeah. So the mic is with him. Sir, please.
Hello. I am architect Sanjay Paul from Durgapur. I have a small request to Mr. Devashish Sen, since he is representing from this innovation. I think if we can apply to below poverty line, the buildings which are coming up in Durgapur and other surroundings, I think there is a lot of wastage of money is going on. Simple design, and they are allotted to the below poverty line, those people are there. So I request Mr. Devashish Sen, please kindly look into this matter, because there we can do a lot of innovation as far as materials are concerned and design are concerned. Thank you.
The point well taken. Just one other question we'll take, or a suggestion, and then we'll move on to the presentation by DFI. Yeah, please sir.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think it's a very well taken point. Instinctively, when we think of design, we only think of design for the rich. I absolutely agree that there is a huge field that involves designing for those who are not so rich. And therefore, we have to look at things like Shantiniketan, where Kaviguru used the local earth in making very, very durable and comfortable homes. But my only point is, if I may add, that we should not shortchange people just because they are poor. We should not consign them to be poor. So our innovation should be how to make them lead a healthy life also, but without spending much money. Absolutely well taken.
I think we'll draw this to a close, and we'll get into the next presentation. Any one of the panelists wants to add something, please? Yeah. Yeah, please, sir. Okay, Abhijit da.
Just add one thing, that we didn't have the innovation much earlier because that was not needed. Now today, the way the things are going on, it becomes a need of an hour for our own sustenance, for our own existence. I believe Mr. Beriwala and his team is also fighting for innovation, because there is a threat from the outsides. China's things are dumping at a cheaper price. Right, wrong, whatever may be, it is a reality. So we have to be innovative to reduce our cost and be competitive. So everybody is looking for innovation, since this is a threat from us and this is for the survival.
Absolutely. Innovate or get extinct. I think the writing is on the wall. Yeah, thank